Has a woman ever ignored you and you found yourself wondering, what should I do now? Maybe you sent a message and there was no reply. Or perhaps in person, you felt like you didn't even exist. Well, let me tell you a quick story. A close friend of mine experienced this exact situation. He met someone and things seemed great at first, until suddenly she started ignoring him. No calls, no texts, just silence. He was confused, frustrated, and even started questioning himself. But then he did something most guys never think of. What he did next completely flipped the situation in his favor. So, how do you respond when a woman ignores you? Let's break it down. Strengthening your inner peace in difficult moments. Inner peace is more than simply staying calm. It's an unshakable stability that anchors you, even in life's most challenging moments. When faced with difficulties, whether they are interpersonal conflicts, disappointments, or unexpected setbacks, finding inner peace helps you remain balanced, thoughtful, and resilient. Strengthening this inner tranquility requires consistent self-reflection, emotional awareness, and a commitment to staying grounded in your values. One of the keys to cultivating inner peace is recognizing what you can control and accepting what you cannot. Life's uncertainties can create stress, especially when things don't go as planned. However, by focusing your energy on actions and choices within your reach, you protect yourself from unnecessary worry. This shift in focus helps you respond to problems thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. In difficult situations, this ability to pause and reflect before acting strengthens your resilience and helps you move forward with a clear mind. Strengthening inner peace also involves practicing self-compassion. Often, during hard times, we can be our own harshest critics. However, approaching yourself with kindness allows you to accept imperfections without judgment, building emotional stability from within. When you nurture this internal peace, you'll find that external challenges lose their power over you. Ultimately, inner peace in difficult moments not only helps you handle adversity, but empowers you to grow through it, transforming challenges into opportunities for self-discovery and personal strength. Embracing self-worth beyond validation. True self-worth comes from within. It's an internal sense of value that doesn't rely on external validation. When we base our self-worth on how others perceive us, we become vulnerable, as our confidence rises and falls with others' opinions. Embracing self-worth beyond validation means recognizing that you are complete and valuable as you are, independent of anyone else's approval. This mindset allows you to approach life's challenges with resilience, as your confidence is no longer affected by the actions or words of others. Building this self-worth starts with self-reflection and self-acceptance. Instead of focusing on what others think of you, begin to evaluate yourself by your own standards and values. Acknowledge your strengths and be mindful of your growth areas, but do so with kindness and patience. Real self-worth isn't perfection. It's embracing yourself, flaws and all, while working toward becoming the best version of yourself. This internal validation fosters a deep, unshakable confidence that frees you from constantly seeking approval. When you embrace self-worth independent of validation, you set healthier boundaries and make decisions that reflect your true values and desires. This not only enhances your well-being but also influences how others see you. People are naturally drawn to those who are confident and self-assured. By focusing on your own worth, you foster a peaceful, fulfilling sense of self, empowering you to navigate relationships and challenges with clarity and strength. Building inner strength through emotional detachment. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're able to separate your feelings from the need for external validation. When someone pulls away, it's easy to start questioning your worth or analyzing their behavior in an attempt to fix the situation. But true strength comes from knowing that your value isn't defined by anyone's actions or reactions. This shift, learning to be okay with the unknown, can be transformative. By practicing emotional detachment, you're able to observe without being consumed, to care without becoming dependent. Developing this inner strength is central to Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that attaching your happiness to the actions of others only leads to suffering. Instead, they advocated for finding stability within oneself. This doesn't mean you don't experience emotions. Rather, you learn to master them. When you no longer hinge your happiness on someone else's attention or approval, you gain freedom from their influence. You remain grounded and resilient, able to maintain your own peace regardless of external shifts. Interestingly, emotional detachment often has an attractive quality. When people see that you're centered and unbothered, it can make you stand out, inspiring respect and admiration. This calm confidence conveys that you're comfortable within yourself, an attitude that others find empowering. So, by practicing emotional detachment, not only do you cultivate resilience, but you also set a standard of self-worth and respect that often inspires those around you. Why ignoring back can be your greatest advantage. When someone ignores you, the natural reaction is often to reach out more, to prove your worth, or to get a response. However, taking a step back and responding with silence can be one of the most powerful ways to reclaim your self-respect and shift the balance in any interaction. Choosing not to respond emotionally shows that you're in control of your reactions, which can make others reevaluate their behavior. Ignoring back is not about playing games. It's a method of protecting your own energy and drawing boundaries. When you ignore back, you communicate that your sense of self-worth doesn't depend on someone else's acknowledgement. This approach is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes control over one's own mind and reactions. By remaining unbothered, you project strength, making it clear that their actions don't have power over your well-being. Ironically, this often has a magnetic effect. When people see that their behavior doesn't impact you, they may start seeking your attention instead. This silent response can also shift the dynamics in your favor. It creates space for the other person to consider their actions, especially if they took your presence for granted. Ignoring back gives you time to assess your feelings and decide if the connection truly serves you. In the end, ignoring back is not about creating distance. It's about respecting yourself enough to prioritize your peace. This simple, powerful response often conveys more confidence and self-worth than any words could. How to stay unbothered and confident in any situation. Staying unbothered isn't about ignoring your emotions or pretending to be unaffected. It's about maintaining a calm, confident demeanor regardless of what's happening around you. This approach, rooted in Stoic philosophy, teaches that true strength comes from within, not from the approval or attention of others. In a world where reactions often dictate our emotions, learning to remain unbothered sets you apart, allowing you to maintain peace and focus. One key to staying unbothered is to shift your perspective. Recognize that you don't control others' actions or opinions, only how you respond to them. This understanding frees you from the need to constantly seek validation or overanalyze situations. By choosing not to give in to reactions or insecurities, you project an aura of self-assurance that naturally draws people in. When others see that you're not easily shaken, it conveys maturity, self-worth, and emotional stability. This approach also empowers you to choose what deserves your energy and what doesn't. By staying grounded, you make decisions based on your values rather than reacting impulsively. When you're unbothered, you're able to observe situations objectively and respond in ways that truly align with your principles. Ultimately, staying calm and confident under pressure isn't about dismissing challenges, but about handling them from a place of inner strength, making your presence impactful without the need for constant validation. How to reclaim your power when she ignores you. When someone ignores you, especially someone you're interested in, it can trigger a whirlwind of emotions. We've all been there, analyzing every message, wondering where things went wrong. But here's the key to breaking free from this trap. Stop chasing and start focusing on yourself. When you stop reacting to her silence, you regain control over the situation and, more importantly, over yourself. Ignoring can be a powerful tactic in relationships, often done consciously or subconsciously to gauge someone's interest. By stepping back and focusing inward, you avoid feeding the cycle of dependency and seeking validation. Instead, redirect your attention to things that make you grow: hobbies, career goals, friendships, and self-care. This isn't about playing games. It's about making a clear statement that your worth isn't dependent on anyone's approval or attention. This self-assured response often has an unexpected effect. When a woman sees that you're not bothered or desperate, she may naturally become curious about what's shifted in you. That shift, however, isn't to win her back, but to establish a firm foundation within yourself, one that's unshakable by someone else's behavior. By reclaiming your power and focusing on personal growth, you not only attract people, but also set the tone for how you expect to be treated in any relationship. The art of letting go, mastering emotional control. Letting go can be one of the most challenging yet rewarding actions, especially when faced with disappointment, rejection, or indifference. Mastering the art of letting go is not about giving up, but about releasing the emotional weight that keeps you tied to situations and people who no longer serve your growth. When you let go, you gain freedom, empowering you to move forward with clarity and strength. Emotional control is at the heart of letting go. By learning to observe your feelings without reacting impulsively, you develop resilience that keeps you grounded. Often, the need to hold on stems from fear of loss, fear of change, or fear of being alone. But by embracing emotional control, you can navigate these fears with confidence, realizing that your well-being isn't dependent on external factors. Instead, you build a foundation of inner peace, knowing that you are complete and strong on your own. Letting go also allows you to create space for new opportunities and relationships that align better with who you are. It's an act of self-respect that signals you value yourself enough not to chase things that aren't meant for you. This mindset shift can profoundly impact your life, transforming how you view setbacks and empowering you to prioritize your own growth. Ultimately, mastering emotional control through letting go is an investment in your self-worth, leading you to a life that reflects peace, resilience, and a true sense of freedom. How to break free from validation and find peace. The need for validation is a deeply ingrained human trait. We all crave approval, acceptance, and recognition, especially from people we care about. But relying too heavily on external validation can make us vulnerable, as our self-worth becomes dependent on others' opinions or reactions. Learning to detach from this need is essential for true peace and self-confidence. When you break free from the constant need for validation, you gain the freedom to live authentically. Finding peace starts by understanding that validation from others isn't what defines your value. It's how you view and appreciate yourself. One way to reduce dependency on external approval is to focus on internal validation. This means setting your own standards, recognizing your achievements, and appreciating your efforts without needing someone else to acknowledge them. This shift transforms your confidence from something fragile and dependent to something resilient and rooted in self-acceptance. Breaking free from validation also gives you control over your emotions and reactions. When you no longer rely on others for self-worth, criticism or indifference doesn't shake you as easily. Instead, you feel a sense of calm and empowerment, knowing that you are complete on your own. Embracing this self-assured mindset frees you from the expectations of others, allowing you to make decisions based on what truly fulfills you. Ultimately, finding peace within yourself is a journey toward genuine confidence, making every relationship and experience more fulfilling. The Stoic way to handle silence and indifference. Silence can be uncomfortable, especially when it comes from someone you care about or are interested in. But how you react to that silence says more about you than about the other person. Stoicism teaches us that our power lies not in controlling others, but in mastering our own emotions. When faced with indifference or silence, instead of spiraling into worry, the Stoic approach invites you to pause, reflect, and focus on your own growth. Indifference often has a purpose. It can reveal hidden insecurities or trigger a desire for validation. But by choosing not to react emotionally, you reclaim a sense of calm and self-worth. Silence isn't always a rejection. Sometimes it's an opportunity to practice patience and resilience. This shift in perspective, central to Stoic philosophy, is liberating. Rather than viewing the silence as an attack, see it as a chance to nurture your inner strength. After all, your response to indifference defines your resilience, not the other person's interest. Through Stoicism, you learn that self-control is a powerful attractor. People are naturally drawn to those who radiate calm and self-assuredness. By handling silence gracefully, you send a subtle message. You're secure within yourself and unbothered by others' actions. This quiet confidence often speaks louder than any words or reactions ever could. Ultimately, handling silence with stoic calm sets a tone for respect, growth, and a stronger sense of self in all interactions, finding fulfillment through self-respect and boundaries. True fulfillment comes not from external achievements or approval, but from honoring your own values and needs. Self-respect forms the foundation of this fulfillment. When you respect yourself, you naturally create boundaries that protect your well-being and prioritize your peace. Boundaries are not walls to keep others out, but are guidelines that define how you want to be treated and how you engage with the world. They help you foster healthier, more balanced relationships by ensuring that your needs are valued. Creating and maintaining boundaries requires self-awareness and courage. Often we feel pressured to please others or meet societal expectations, which can lead to neglecting our own needs. By recognizing your limits and expressing them openly, you not only take control of your energy, but also show others that you value yourself. This act of self-respect isn't about being rigid. It's about being mindful of what serves your growth and well-being. It allows you to engage fully with others while protecting your inner peace. When you establish clear boundaries, you foster deeper and more fulfilling connections, as people who respect you will naturally align with your values. Boundaries empower you to focus on relationships that bring positivity and growth. This inner sense of respect attracts relationships and opportunities that enrich your life. Ultimately, finding fulfillment through self-respect and boundaries helps you live a life that reflects who you truly are, bringing a lasting sense of peace and authenticity. As we wrap up, remember that real strength lies in staying true to yourself, even when it's challenging. Letting go of the need for validation, mastering emotional control, and focusing on your own growth can transform the way you experience relationships and interactions. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's one way you plan to strengthen your inner peace? Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep growing.